Hello all together, good morning, and I'm happy to be again here. Today we have a very interesting webinar about additional operating costs for investment in German properties. This is, I think, interesting for everybody who wants really to make an investment and have to know what kind of costs will coming for him. At first, we see here the content of our webinar. Start with the overview of the costs before purchase, then the costs for the investors during and after purchase, then the costs for the tenants if you will rent the investment, and at last we have time for questions and answers. Start directly with part one, overview of costs. In Germany, you have some costs when you buy or build up a property, and you have only this cost. The contract is certified by a notary. Building and plot belong together. Normally, this is in 99% of all cases in Germany because plot and building belong together, but it gives some other things where you have only to buy the building. Then you have also the operating costs. Every area in Germany can do its own fee policy, but the list you will see is manageable. I will try to explain you the differences and who have to pay the costs. Most of every investment in properties are determined by the purchase and later during the term of validity. This is for translation now.
OK， 大家早晨，好開心今日有同大家一齊去分享一啲關於德國嘅房地產嘅信息啦。咁大家知道買物業，我哋除咗物業本身嘅支出之外咧，都會有一啲其他嘅持有成本嘅。咁今日我哋成個主題咧就係圍繞住成個物業嘅支出同埋成本去討論啦。首先第一個我哋會討論話購買同埋持有成個物業會有嘅成本，主要係一個概覽啦。第二個就係投資者喺購買呢個物業之後咧會有啲咩持有成本。第三個就係呢啲持有嘅成本，或者話我哋嘅租戶會唔會去幫我哋去 cover 呢啲成本咧？咁第四部分就係 Q&A 啦。咁首先我哋嚟到第一部分啦。第一部分就係講我哋嘅成個嘅成本嘅概覽嘅。咁包括咗我哋嘅購買嘅價格啦，即係我哋成個物業嘅價值，我哋要去同公證處去簽合約嘅，咁去買嗰個地同埋嗰個起嗰個物業。咁第二個咧就係我哋嘅持有成本啦。咁持有成本咧，因為德國係有16個聯邦嘅，咁每個州都有佢嘅法律啦。但係咧呢個成個持有成本嘅成個清單咧係可以去計算嘅，同埋咧呢個成本包括咗購買成本同埋持有成本啦。咁成個嘅投資嘅花費咧，主要係由物業嘅價值去決定嘅。咁之後咧係由呢個物業嘅註冊有效期去決定。咁呢個就係我哋講嘅第一部分啦。
Okay, let us start with part two, costs for investors. First of all, you have the purchase price if you invest in a German property. For the notary contract, you have to pay 1 to 1.5% of the purchase price. This is depends a little bit about what is happened in the contract. It's a very difficult contract. It's have the notary explain more. For the normal standard contract, it's nearer to 1% of the purchase price. If you have more conditions, if you have more things to manage about payment, then it will become to 1.5%. For example, you have an extra fee if it will be arranged that the purchase price will going on a separate notary account to save both parties, then the fee will be higher. Next one is the register of mortgage and fees from court and land registry office. That will be around 0.5% to 0.75% of the purchase price. What is happened? Normally, everybody need a mortgage to finance the investment or the property. For this one, you need a mortgage, and the bank will send you a form that you have to certify by the notary to go inside the land register. Also, every notary contract will be registered by the court and by the land registry. So these fees are not so high, but it will coming, and you will have to pay this by separate invoices from the court and from also the land registry. Next one is a unique land transfer tax. This is one of the highest things what you have to pay when you have to make an invest. It's totally different. All 16 areas in Germany have their own right for this kind of tax. And in the meanwhile, you have a lot of regulations which are stay between 3% to 6.5% of the purchase price. The difference is really drastically between the areas in Germany. To understand this, you need a list which you can print out by the internet, and then you will see where is the cheapest place in Germany and where is the highest price place in Germany. For example, in Bavaria, you will only pay 3%, and you will pay in the more the northern part, it's Brandenburg, Schleswig-Holstein, and also in the south in Saarland, you will pay 6.5%. This is the double, and the areas meanwhile have a knowledge that it is a good income to make a higher transfer tax of the purchase price, because it brings a lot of money and very easy. For the buyer, it is very angry about pay more for this, because this money is lose forever and will never come back. So you have to look by your investment decision how much tax is in this area where you want to invest. For the property agent, you have to calculate in Germany between 3.57 to 7.14%. Why this curious percent? It is including the 19% VAT. So when you calculate, normally you have pay between 3 to 6%, and 90% is on the top. For this one, you will get an invoice from the property manager after the contract is signed. The property manager in Germany are well protected by the law that they really get the money. In the moment when you as an investor take the help of a property manager, it is automatically a contract with them. So if it is made by a paper or only by telling on the phone, it's equal. You have to pay this one. It's also totally different about every area in Germany, because in the south parts in Germany, you have to pay more, between 3 to 4 maximum 4.5%, and when you're going to Berlin and Hamburg and the northern part, you have exactly every time the 7.14%. It is possible to negotiate this rate because it's free, but the property manager don't want to have any discussion, and at the moment with a strong market where you have to find a good investment, it's the possibility for a negotiation more low, as that you can tell the property manager you have to make a different and separate contract with you. At last, you have further possible fees from the bank. If you need a mortgage, the banks are mostly looking for a fee for the credit contract that will be between 0.5% to mostly 1%. It's negotiable, and normally it depends about how much asset you bring by themselves. Is it a mortgage which is nearer only 50% of the purchase price? The bank will not go with a fee if you coming near the 100% of the purchase price. The bank will be coming stronger and will have payment for the risk. All of this belongs to the purchase prices which you have to pay for investment and which you have to calculate it. It's a little bit difficult about the different areas. But, you can see the most of the things on the website in Germany, or ask your consultant about it. Mostly knows the rate of the taxes or of the prices from the property managers. Please, let's translate first.
OK， 咁首先我哋講嘅第一部分咧，就講嘅費用部分咧。首先費用嘅第一部分主要係我哋嘅購買價格啦。咁大家都知道，我哋喺買樓嘅時候需要去支付一筆費用去買樓嘅，去購買個物業嘅。咁我哋嘅費用主要包含5個部分啦。第一部分係公證合同呢一方面，因為喺德國買所有嘅樓都需要去進行公證嘅，同埋要去公證處嗰邊去公證合同嘅。咁呢個部分嘅花費大概係購買價格嘅1%到1.5%啦。咁如果話一般呢個係一般嘅費用嚟嘅，咁係平均嘅費用啦。因為喺唔同嘅州係有唔同嘅，同埋你購買物業你嘅情況唔同嘅話，可能會有少少差異。咁呢個就係呢個區間嘅來源啦。咁第二部分咧就係我哋嘅按揭嘅註冊啦，同埋我哋嘅法庭費用同埋土地註冊處嘅費用，咁大概係購買價格嘅0.5%到0.75%嘅。咁大家都知道，因為我哋啱先講咗喺德國所有嘅物業購買咧，都需要經過公證處，咁同埋可能你都會有按揭嘅，咁呢啲都需要經公證嘅，同埋要去到法庭嗰邊去註冊，所以呢個就係一個額外嘅花費啦。但係呢個費用唔係十分之高嘅，大概0.5%到0.75%嘅。咁除非話你嘅風險或者話你嘅物業嘅情況比較複雜，你嘅呢方面嘅費用會比較高少少。咁第三部分咧就係一個比較德國獨一無二嘅，就係你嘅土地轉讓稅。咁大概係3%到6.5%之間嘅，係對於你嘅物業價值嘅購買嘅價格嚟講嘅話，咁呢個都係成個購買過程中支付最高嘅一筆額外嘅費用㗎啦，即係除咗物業本身嘅價格之外。咁點解咧？因為其實呢一方面，德國嘅土地註冊咧，因為佢係因為德國有16個州，所以佢每個州嘅所有嘅法律法規都係唔一樣嘅。咁如果你想知道話佢個差異咁大，從3%到5%呢個區間，咁你可以上網去睇下邊一個州嘅呢個稅係最低，同埋邊個州嘅呢個稅係最高嘅。比如話3%可能就係 Bavaria 嗰個州啦，咁呢個係3%嘅。咁喺德國嘅北部嗰啲地方 Brandenburg 嗰啲同埋 同埋佢嘅最南部嘅地方咧，咁就係可能比較高，佢會去到6.5%嘅。咁關於呢啲數字咧，我哋係需要上網去查下，咁每個州嘅呢個稅嘅一個高低，然之後從而你去根據你自己嘅投資嘅計劃同埋決定去查詢啦，去做決定啦。咁呢個就係唔同地區有唔同嘅一個稅啦。咁而且而家有啲即係德國嘅一啲州嘅稅務局咧，佢哋會覺得呢個稅其實係相對嚟講係對於政府嚟講係比較好嘅收入，所以話佢哋會比較高。咁呢個大家喺投資嘅時候就要去睇下邊一個州係比較適合投資㗎啦，比較同埋邊個州嘅稅係比較划算啦。咁第4個咧就係我哋嘅房產中介嘅費用啦。咁主要係咁佢嘅費用大概係我哋嘅購買價格嘅3.57%到7.14%嘅。咁呢個都算係比較高。咁有人都話，咁呢個點解會咁高咧？同埋差異咁大咧？都係因為嗰個問題。德國係有16個州嘅聯邦嘅，咁佢每個州嘅法規都唔一樣，所以佢嘅成個嘅規定就會唔一樣啦。咁同埋德國法律相對嚟講係比較保護房產中介嘅，無論你哋係簽咗書面合同定係話你哋只係打個電話，咁呢個中介就係話，只要佢係認定服務於你嘅，咁你之後佢就會得到佢應得嘅勞動嘅收入啦。同埋當你付咗呢筆費用之後咧，你會得到房產中介公司俾你嘅合同啦。咁呢個都係喺你簽咗購物合同之後咧，你就會得到呢個發票，咁你就可以去支付呢筆費用嘅。咁其實3%到6%嚟講係相對嚟講比較常見嘅一個區間。咁如果話你嘅物業比較複雜，同埋你其他嘅使費比較多嘅話，可能會呢個費用可能會達到9%嘅。但係舉個例子啦，我哋話比如話喺巴巴利亞州嘅話，可能係3%到4.5%之間啦。呢個房產中介嘅費用。咁如果係喺柏林嘅話，可能真係會達到7.14%嘅。咁但係呢個都係你可以去同中介公司去傾嘅。但係除咗你可以同佢傾嗰個中介費啦。但係呢個咧，佢有一個官方嘅合同，同埋如果你真係要去同佢傾價嘅話，可能你哋需要去再開具一個額外嘅合同去進行呢一個費用嘅。咁第5個咧就係我哋銀行嘅費用啦。咁銀行嘅費用主要係按揭啊，或者係其他嘅一啲行政嘅費用。咁呢個都係你自己去同銀行傾嘅，或者話你嘅顧問去幫你同銀行傾。咁呢個花費大概0.5%到1%啦，咁都係可以傾嘅。但係如果你嘅物業風險比較高嘅話，可能佢個費用就會相對更加高啦。咁所有呢啲嘢咧，就係你需要去同你嘅中介公司啦，同埋你嘅顧問啦，同埋去討論呢啲可能出現嘅稅務同埋價格同埋額外嘅費用嘅。咁樣嘅話咧，你先可以去比較好咁去做你嘅投資決定。
Okay, thank you. Now we can starting to go to the next area. What is very important here for your calculation and for the codes, operating codes. After you are the owner, and which are coming monthly or yearly to the investor. But first of all, you need a project manager for your apartment, for your house, or for your commercial building. That is totally equal. But you need somebody who is looking for the project, who will take together all invoices, who will prepare it for your statement, and who will make the invoices for the tenant. The cost for the project manager is only 30 to 50 euros per month and per project. That is not very much, and is including the normal work for your property. If you want to have a better service or a full service, as the property manager looking for a new tenant, or will also fight against the tenants if they have not make any payment, then you need a different contract with the project manager, and it depends about the work what they have to do for you. This will be also the cost for a lawyer which you need. But, normally, in over 90% of all investments in Germany, you don't need a lawyer or anything else because the contracts with a tenant are mostly very safe, and also the tenant is not interesting to make any stress or anything else, because as I told before in some webinars before, the Germans are a typical tenant nation. They're living in their apartment or in their houses long time. The next one is a quote for maintenance and repair, deduction and service, which will coming to you. And for all of this, you can calculate between 1.70 to 1.50 euro per square meter monthly. This is a calculation for every investor that you can say, okay, I have, for example, 50 square meters, and I calculate full price. It's €4.50, then we have over 100 euros per month, only for the costs for repair, for everything what is coming for the project. But that is also not much. As you know about war here in Ukraine, the energy costs hurry up in Europe in the meanwhile a lot. All these costs will be paid by the tenants if the investor will not use the property for its own. But at the moment, the government in Germany make new programs for reduce energy costs, so that at last the highest price of 2.50 euros will not break so much, or will absolutely break. And so you can further calculate a maximum with 2.50 euros per square meter with your Betriebskosten, which is a German word. Mostly the Germans also say Nebenkosten. That means it's the costs all around your investment. Let's please translate first.
OK， 咁我哋嘅花費第二部分就係我哋嘅持有成本啦。咁呢個係需要業主自己去每個月或者係每年去交嘅。咁呢個部分嘅費用主要都係包含3個部分啦。第一個部分就係你嘅項目嘅經理，因為你需要有個物業嘅管理嘅經理嘅，咁呢個費用係俾佢嘅，咁大概每一個月或者話每一個項目係30到50歐羅啦。咁第二個咧就係咁呢個就係普通嘅一個物業經理幫你去管理物業嘅費用嘅。如果你話你需要更加多嘅服務，比如話你需要呢個物業經理去幫你再揾租客，或者話處理你同租客之間嘅一啲問題嘅話，去同佢協商嘅話，咁呢個你需要簽訂一個其他嘅合同啦，即係一個新嘅合同嘅，咁就佢可以幫你去處理呢啲租客嘅問題嘅。咁有人話，咁我持有呢個物業嘅時候，會唔會有啲時候會用到律師咧？咁其實係90%嘅情況之下係唔需要嘅。同埋咧，你同租客簽訂合同係會相對嚟講比較安全嘅。同埋我之前同大家講過啦，我哋之前嘅講座都提過話，德國其實係一個租務市場嚟嘅。咁好多德國人會租一間屋住好耐、好長嘅時間。咁第二個花費咧，就係關於維修同埋減免同埋服務費啦。咁呢個咧都睇情況，因為唔係每間屋都會有呢個需要維修嘅。如果你係新屋嘅話，就更加冇呢個問題啦。咁呢個費用大概係呢個費用，我哋可以計埋第3種情況。如果比如話你喺呢間屋係自己住嘅，咁你嘅持有費用大概係1.7到2.5歐羅每平方米每個月啦。咁比如話你自己住一間50平米嘅屋啦，咁就算話係最高嘅話，咁呢個花費每個月都不過係大概100歐羅到啦。咁大家都知，咁之前而家咧，因為 烏克蘭嘅戰爭啦，咁成個能源嘅價格係上升咗好多嘅。咁呢個如果你係自己住嘅話，可能會有少少影響啦。但係如果係租客租出去嘅話，咁呢啲能源嘅費用其實都係由嗰個租客去支付嘅。咁有人話咁，如果我係自己住嘅話，咁會唔會影響咧？咁而家政府其實都有針對呢個能源嘅情況推出一啲新嘅計劃嘅。新嘅計劃就係去幫大家去減少嗰個能源嘅花費啦，應該係一啲補貼之類嘅。咁樣嘅話，你成個你每個月每平方米嘅持有成本或者話你居住嘅成本都唔會超過2.5歐羅嘅。咁呢個都係一個相對嚟講比較有保障嘅一個措施啦。
Okay, let us look further for the different codes here for operating. You will see this sometimes a little complicated, sometimes very easy, and it's mostly it's compared as the situation here in Hong Kong or China. First of all, you have here the property insurance for fire, water, and storm. This is a normal insurance to protect the houses, mostly happened against storm or water. Fire is not so often. If the property is financed by a mortgage with a bank, then this insurance is a must-be and have to show for to the finance bank, because they will inform the insurance that they are the finance bank, and if it is really happened, then they will get back the money from the insurance, or they will help to build up the house anew. Next one is the waste collection. It is normally organized in Germany that the village or the country or the city organize the takeaway of the waste. The owner will get the invoice and have to do a payment mostly every 3 months or 2 times in a year for take away the waste. Same is for the street cleaning, that will be also organized mostly by the village and by the cities directly. It's the same as by the waste collection, and sometimes this waste collection and street cleaning invoice coming together. What is very interesting for Germany is the work of the chimney sweep for heating. This is absolutely must, because nearly all houses in Germany have heating, and only the system is different. You have at the moment you have a lot of gas heating, and also heating by wood or by coal, but in the meanwhile a lot of sustainable energies with a pump in the ground or in the pump in the water. But for all proof, these things will coming somebody from the government one time a year. The costs are not so high, mostly between 60 to 100 euro one time for control, and you get a certificate that your heating is okay, and this is a must-be for every household. Next one, what is interesting is the public liability insurance. Could be very interesting for investment in areas where you have to calculate snowfall in the winter, because as owner you have the duty to save the people who's going outside on the street, that they will not have any damage about snowfall. If it has happened, it could be very expensive, because stay in the hospital and to pay fee that the people will recover is not cheap, and this is the reason for this insurance. a lot of people have it. In the meanwhile, a lot of people are happy that they had it, because you can never see if it is very slippery outside or not, and most people going on work. And if snowfall is coming over the day, you have the duty to clean the street. Last one, what is really interesting is the real estate tax. This is in the meanwhile one of the most discussed points in Germany, because this is also depend about the area where you have your investment. And since 60 years, it was every time the same system, that the revenue will vote for your house, or tell them what is the price for your house. But some years ago, the court in Germany said that it's wrong, and you have to make new rules. And this brings new rules for every area, and every area do it now by themselves, and the system is very complicated. It's not easy to calculate it at the moment, but you can calculate at the moment that it's a price between 300 could be to 1,000 euros per year, and it's mostly payment monthly or 2 times in a year. That depends also about the area. For further explanation, use please a consultant who can explain you what is really payment, or let it show it by your property manager, who is mostly very good informed about the estate tax in his region. Interesting is also the question how it will go on. What is the normal way for an investor to get the money, to pay the money? Who will do it? If you have a property manager, he will normally lead an account for you, and will all do the payment about your renting, and will also pay all invoices. For the tenant, which will be your investment, it's very easy. They pay the renting, and they also pay monthly in advance part of the Betriebskosten, which is yearly calculated. For example, it's calculated 1,200 euro per year. Then the tenant have to pay every month advance 100 euros. Plus is renting, so that you get every time in liquid about this costs. And after 1 year, latest in December of the following year, you have to give a statement to your tenant with how much code is really, or is it more, or is it less? And this will also do the property manager for you. So I think it's enough. First, let's please translate.
OK， 咁我哋第二部分嘅第三個小部分咧，就係關於我哋嘅持有成本，都可以講係運營成本啦。咁我哋需要付出啲咩，即係支付啲咩咧？首先主要係有6個嘅。第一個就係我哋嘅房屋保險啦，包括咗火險啦、水險同埋嗰個風暴嘅保險嘅。咁有啲人話點解要買呢啲保險咧？咁如果你係做按揭去買呢個物業嘅話，咁係一定需要有呢一啲嘅保險嘅。呢個同中國同埋香港嘅做法都係好似嘅，因為如果你冇呢啲保險嘅話，可能你個按揭就唔會批落嚟噶啦。所以咧，呢個一定係需要你去同嗰個銀行啦出示你買咗呢啲保險嘅合同啦，咁樣嘅話你先可以從銀行嗰度攞到個按揭嘅。咁呢個就係保險啦。第二個咧就係我哋嘅垃圾嘅清理同埋垃圾嘅清理。咁呢個你都會係每個月或者話每3個月或者話1年2次收到政府嗰邊部門嘅發嚟嘅一個發票嘅，咁你就支付啦。咁佢會幫你去進行一個 垃圾每年嘅垃圾嘅清理嘅費用嘅。咁第三個就係街道清理嘅一個費用啦。咁呢一個費用往往都會同嗰個啱先嗰個垃圾清理嘅一齊發票過嚟嘅。咁都係大概每3個月或者係每3個月支付一次啦，或者話每年支付2次嘅。咁睇你嘅到時嘅發票啦。咁第4個咧就係都係德國比較獨有嘅一啲，可能你哋喺香港都冇聽過嘅，就係暖氣嘅一個煙囪嘅清理嘅費用嘅。咁因為德國冬天係非常之凍啦，咁都係需要有取暖同埋有暖氣嘅。咁呢個係需要每年都要去進行一個清理嘅。咁而家咧好多新嘅屋咧就用咗嗰個清潔嘅綠色能源啦，可能就會比較好啲。但係對於一啲一般嘅以前嘅屋或者係舊屋嘅話，可能就需要花費比較高。咁而且呢個係政府規定每年都一定要去做嘅一樣嘢嚟嘅。咁個費用咧，大家可以計大概每年係60到100歐羅啦。咁呢個係需要去支付嘅咧。咁第5個就係我哋嘅公共責任保險啦。咁公共責任保險包括啲咩咧？比如話因為其實喺德國，比如話啱先都講到冬天好凍啦，咁佢會落雪啦。咁如果人喺你屋企門口跣親或者點樣嘅話，落雪嘅時候，咁如果你冇呢個保險嘅話，你就要自己去幫佢嗰個跌親嘅人去支付所有嘅入院費用啦，同埋一啲醫療費用嘅。咁會呢啲費用會好貴啦，所以咧，如果你有呢個保險嘅話，就可以 cover 晒呢啲花費啦。咁呢個都係點解有啲人即係會好樂意或者話會覺得自己好彩會買到呢個保險嘅，有時候，因為如果唔係嘅話，呢啲費用就會係你自己嘅。咁呢個就係第5個我哋公共責任保險啦。第6個就係我哋嘅房產稅。咁房產稅呢一方面咧，我哋因為稅務局或者話稅務局佢會根據你自己嘅你嘅房屋情況去對你嘅房屋嘅情況進行一個評估，比如話佢會睇下你嘅價值啊，同埋你嘅係咪有啲咩地方需要去更新啊、去更換啊。比如話，但係呢個每個州都唔一樣嘅，同埋每個地方都唔一樣。比如話有啲地方佢覺得你哋呢一區啊，或者你哋呢一笪地方都需要去換個屋頂啦，咁你就需要去換呢個屋頂啦。同埋咧，呢個都唔係好好同埋佢成個嘅系統或者話評估系統呢啲嘢都唔係咁簡單嘅，所以都係睇佢哋到時點樣安排啦。咁呢個費用大概，比如話如果你真係去換屋頂嘅話，個費用可能係300到100歐羅每年啦。咁呢個就係房產稅呢方面嘅一啲支出嘅。呢個可能係每個月俾或者係每年俾都可以嘅。咁而家可能你會問話，咁呢啲錢邊個俾咧？或者話點樣俾咧？咁呢個你就要到時候同你嘅顧問去就每個物業去進行一個特定嘅諮詢啦，同埋要同你嘅項目經理啦去進行一個溝通啦。因為咧每一個區唔一樣，每一個區嘅法律都唔一樣，咁所以佢嘅所有嘅情況或者話費用嘅方面就唔一樣。咁需要你嘅顧問同埋你嘅物業經理去對你嘅房屋去進行一個管理啦，因為佢哋對呢當時嘅政策啊，或者話係信息係最敏銳同埋最先知道嘅，所以佢哋會可以幫你去做呢啲嘢。咁最後一個就係你會覺得咁運營一個德國屋咪要好多錢咯。但係呢啲錢咧，啱先我哋提到啲所有嘅六個費用咧，都係6項費用都係可以從我哋嘅租客嗰度去攞翻嚟嘅。咁啱先講到啦，舉個例子啦，我哋嘅租客每一年佢除咗俾租金之外咧，佢都會俾一筆額外嘅費用俾我哋去進行呢啲維修嘅管理嘅。佢舉個例子，比如話我哋大概每年係1200歐羅啦。咁呢1200歐羅可能佢分12個月俾啦。咁如果咁樣嘅話，我哋就有嗰個支付呢啲費用嘅一個流動嘅資金啦。如果話到咗每年年尾嘅時候，我哋就會去同個租客去計話咁我哋用咗幾多錢啊，同埋咧我哋仲剩翻幾多錢啊。咁呢啲我哋嘅房屋嘅嗰個管理嘅經理都會幫我哋，物業管理嘅經理都會幫我哋去計好，同埋去同個租客去溝通嘅。業主都會有都會知道相應嘅一啲花費。
Okay. Coming to the next point, part 3, codes for the tenant. As I told you before, you will see that a lot of codes will be paid by the tenant, and as you see here on the list, it starts with codes for gas and water wastewater sewage. I think that's normal. Elevator is in the house. For TV, internet, it's also clear. House cleaning is the next one. Sometimes it is a little bit stressfully in houses with more tenants because tenants sometimes have the feeling they have to save money and start the house cleaning by her own, but that brings only stress and angry mostly in the house, and at last the property manager are not interested to do it by them and order better company to do it. Then also the codes for the garden, if any, and the codes for the concierge. All these codes will be calculated in 1 year before, and this is what I said before. The advance paying, which will get the owner from the tenant in a share amount every month. It could be more if any other things are also organized in the house. But this is here you see the most important cost by the tenant. What is happened for the owner, for the investor? You see all what happened with the taxes, all what happened with the insurance is led by the investor, and that will be calculated in the yearly statement and also pay at last by the tenant. But it will be showed separately in the yearly statement, because these are invoices which are also only have to pay first by the owner. Alice, please.
OK， 咁啱先我哋講咗業主需要支出嘅一啲費用同埋運營嘅費用啦、持有成本啦。跟住落嚟，我哋嚟講下，如果話係租客嗰方面因為我哋如果作為業主嘅話，我哋有租客，咁我哋都要知道租客需要俾啲咩錢啦。咁租客嘅花費主要都係包括9個方面嘅。第一個就係大家好熟悉，即係首先前幾個就係大家好熟悉嘅水電煤啦，係啊，同埋同埋第一個係煤氣啦，第二個係水啦，第三個係廢水嘅處理啦，第四個係電梯嘅，第五個佢哋自己如果有電視嘅話，佢需要付電視費啦，又或者有線費啦，第六個係網絡啦，第七個就係房屋清潔。咁房屋清潔有啲人為咗慳錢，可能佢會自己俾嘅，佢會自己做。但係有時候如果話我哋嘅物業，如果話嗰棟屋住咗好多人，物業覺得佢哋自己搞得唔乾淨、唔夠好嘅話，可能物業經理可能就會直接去幫佢哋安排清潔公司過嚟幫佢哋定期去清理㗎啦。第8個就係花園啦，第9個就係物業嘅服務啦。咁第8、第9如果話係公共嘅，有其他人同你一齊 share 嘅話，咁呢個都會大家一齊分擔嘅。咁呢啲費用咧係會每年產生嘅，同埋咁作為業主嚟嘅話，業主嚟講一般就係主要係俾嗰個稅同埋嗰個保險啦。咁呢個會顯示喺每年，因為我哋話作為業主，我哋嘅物業經理其實會每年將呢啲費用全部整理好，然之後咧業主同埋租客都可以去睇到嘅。咁但係咧呢啲費用嘅發票抬頭一般都係業主，因為係業主去持有呢一啲業主去持有呢個物業，咁相應地呢啲發票係會先俾發票嘅抬頭就會係業主嘅。
So we had talked today about the costs for the purchase. We have talked about the costs after the purchase, and we have to talk about the costs here when you have the property over a year or when you use it by your own. Normally it's not so much, but the difficulties are it's a detail, and you have to understand normally every detail, and you have to look how many codes and what kind of codes will coming for your property or your investment. So at last, here today for you can only to say if you not feel safe in every part of this, then it's better to use a property manager and let the property manager do a full service package for you, also including the statement for the revenue. Next one is to understand and follow the statement and let explain what these codes mean and what is behind it. And in a normal case, you have only to look one time in a year of the German Betriebskosten or Nebenkosten. And for the calculation for purchase, you have a strict calculation for all the costs. The normal things what happens by German investors is that they're mostly saying we calculate 12 to 13% of the purchase price for all, and then we are sure that we have to pay it all. This is the easiest way. It's becoming mostly cheaper. But at last, it's only a kind of handling to do it. But you can calculate the costs in detail when you know where you buy, what you buy, and how many people have to help you to buy. I hope it was an interesting webinar for you and helped you a little bit more to understand what happened with your investment in Germany. Looking forward now for your questions, and many thanks for your attention until now.
係，好多謝 Dietmar。
咁今日嘅
係
咁好多謝大家。係OK，咁多謝大家聽我今日講咗咁多啦。咁關於費用咧，即係關於購買成本同埋持有成本呢一方面嘅一啲信息啦。咁大家都知道話咁好多因為情況嘅唔同，我哋都需要具體情況具體嘅分析嘅。咁細節嘅唔同，大家可以更加多咁樣話去。關於細節呢方面咧，咁大家可能就真係需要去問顧問或者話去問你嘅房產經理噶啦。咁如果你想更加安全嘅話咧，你可以從你嘅物業經理簽訂一個全方位嘅服務協議啦。咁佢會幫你，甚至連報稅，即係從物業管理到報稅都幫你完成嘅。咁樣嘅話咧，佢到時候每年同你出示一次佢嘅管理報告啦，你會從中知道呢啲項目後面嘅一啲費用啦，無論係你可以見到嘅，或者話點解會有呢啲費用，啲你都可以睇得好清楚嘅。咁呢個正常情況下，一般嚟講，作為業主，如果你揾到一個好嘅物業經理嘅話，咁你大概每年大概就係睇一次數就 OK 噶啦，睇一次嗰個報告就 OK 噶啦。咁關於呢啲如果真係你計得好準嘅話，其實都要睇情況嘅。咁一般嚟講，我哋建議你會再預留13% 嘅額外費用去即係較你嘅購買價格嚟講，你再預留13%個13%嘅額外費用嚟支付，就會比較相對嚟講比較足夠。但係具體情況都係要睇你嘅物業情況同埋睇你嘅具體項目嘅。咁而家講完啦，咁如果大家有咩問題嘅話，又可以問啦。
係。多謝 Alice 同 Dietmar。咁我哋啱啱都見到有位聽眾朋友有提出到一個問題嘅，佢提到話有啲關於 mortgage 想喺呢方面了解多啲嘅，係啦，咁或者
Can you see it from the chatting room? Silva said he wants to know more about mortgage.
Mortgage is a big field. is it a little bit more specify what is asked?
佢話
I see.
按揭咧係一個好大嘅範圍嚟嘅，咁你可唔可以問得具體一啲啲咧？咁樣 ，OK，
I see the question.
Yeah.
Of course,
how many percent?
It depends at the moment about the financial situation of the applier, mostly between 50 to 70% of the purchase price.
咁佢話呢個係取決於按揭嘅成數，係取決於按揭申請者嘅一個財務狀況嘅，咁大概係50%到70%度啦。如果可以借嘅成數嘅話，即係5到7成。
好多謝 Dietmar 嘅解答啊！咁或者我都明白，可能始終呢個按揭嘅話題就個範圍會相對比較廣泛嘅。如果聽眾朋友佢又想再深入去了解都可以嘅，可以聯絡翻send 呢條Zoom link 俾你嘅客服同事啦，或者可以去翻我哋網頁度去做翻個登記，咁約個時間同 Dietmar再做一個1對1嘅一啲長談咯，或者咁樣可以去幫助到你更加深入了解到關於德國物業嘅按揭嘅資訊嘅。